Good morning and welcome to Ask Mason, the show where we try to answer questions that are sent in, and sometimes we have special guests, and that's what we've got this morning. I am so pleased that we've got John and Jay Bauer here with us today from Messer Bauer Insurance Company. You guys have a special anniversary coming up, don't you?
We do.
Yeah,
Yes.
100 years.
100 years.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, that is just remarkable, and it's in this day and age when businesses just don't stay around very long. You guys have weathered all kinds of storms over the years. Well, I sit here and I look at Enid and I look at all the great businesses that we have, and some of them with a lot of longevity. Why do you think that is in Enid? Have you ever given that any thought?
Well, I think that it's got something to do with Enid being kind of an independent, freestanding, small metroplex, a term I like to use talking about Enid when I'm explaining it to people. We got to take care of ourselves in Enid, and so we've started businesses that tend to keep going through the years and don't morph into a lot of other things. That's the best explanation I've got for it.
Yeah. Talked to a guy one time, he made the comment, he said that if you look at the businesses and the ages of them, people come out of the Dust Bowl. And it was very hard times, and it just caused people to be resourceful. And I've always wondered about that, about Enid, because we were so close to all that happening. So I've just always wondered that. You just look around at how many great businesses we've had that have been around. But 100 years, very remarkable. Jay, where are y'all located? I know not just here in Enid. That's impossible.
Well, for the last 40 years, we've been at 300 West Cherokee, and that's right on the edge of downtown by the YMCA. That the family purchased for the agency about the time that I was born.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
The older ladies and gentlemen in Enid would remember that as the Champlin building. It was the Champlin Petroleum
I've been told
Company.
That. Uh-huh.
So when you talk about old businesses in Enid, they were one, but they like some of the later oil companies, outgrew the environment and moved to, I believe, Fort Worth when they left Enid. The building had been left open, just and unattended, and we were over on Main Street at 123 West Main. City condemned our property, took it for the convention center. That was the beginning of the convention center we have now. We had to move.
We were there because of the
that we later tore down.
Yeah, we had. Yeah, you later tore it down. Yeah. We figured that might happen.
We outlasted the convention center there.
So we had to move, and so that building was available. We went over there. We didn't know whether it really fit our purposes or not. It seemed awful big. We don't need all that space. So we decided we'd take a chance on it, and we bought it from them and moved in 1982. Very early 1982. We bought it in 81. Had to remodel it into an appropriate office building for our business, and we've really flourished there for the last 40 years. It's been a great home for us.
Now, your agency's not just in Enid also. I mean, you guys are a large agency, one of the largest probably in Oklahoma, I would guess, or in that top.
We're in the larger of the independently owned agencies in Oklahoma.
Yeah. If you put it in terms of independently owned agency, brokerages, that kind of thing, we're a larger one for sure, and we're not the only larger one in Enid, Oklahoma. So Enid's kind of an insurance town in that sense.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. It is. Tell me, first of all, John, when did you start in the business?
Well,
kind of how did that happen?
In 1970, I went to work in the summertime at Messer Bauer's full time. My dad wanted me to do it instead of building houses, which is what I'd been doing a couple of years before that. And I took that opportunity because I thought it'd be pretty important, and I was majoring in insurance and kind of was an insurance guy. I knew what I was going to do. I didn't have any doubt that I'd be back here joining the family business when I got out of college, and that came to pass. So if you want to count that, I've been here since 1970. And that would be 54 years.
Wow. Wow.
I hate to think about that. So if we've got a 100-year celebration, it's kind of it's really kind of difficult to envision that I've been there over half of it.
Wow, wow.
Over half the 100 years I've been there.
Yeah. Jay, what about you? Come into the business when?
I came into the business almost 20 years ago.
Goes by quick,
It
doesn't
does.
Yeah.
It does. But like my father, I left Enid, went to school, and never had any doubt that I was coming back to Enid.
Yeah.
So Enid is absolutely our home office. It's where we have most of our people, and it's a great place to have a business.
It is. Jay, talk a little bit about how many people you guys employ overall, and then specifically here in Enid.
We have around 50 employees in our organization, and at least 30 of those are right here in Enid.
Okay. Very good. Something else I wanted to ask you, and this is always of interest to me. John, you go first. What changes have you seen in your business since you come in? I mean, just had to have really morphed and changed how people do business, how the public wants business done. Can you talk to that just a little bit?
Well, I'm not going to do the best job of talking about that anybody seated here can do, but I'll explain it from what I saw being here back in those days.
Then we'll let Jay clean it all up.
Yeah, you clean up after me. That's right.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously the technological development of the systems, the machines. Basically you get down to just the way we handle the paper. We don't really deal with a lot of paper anymore. And to illustrate that, we had I suppose 5,000 feet of storage of old files that we need to keep for a period of time. It is 100 feet long and 50 feet wide in our basement. That's all been changed over now and converted to something else because we don't need paper files anymore. It's all in the cloud now. So that's probably been the biggest change, and then the way you do business changes a lot because of those things. So that's what I'd say about it. But the basic business mission is the same.
Is the same, right. Jay, what about you? How do you think that's changed in the last 20 years that you've seen?
I think the way that we do it has changed. I think that when I was a young boy and my grandfather would tell me, just remember, we don't have a single product. We don't have something that we sell to somebody. We take care of people. That hasn't changed. But when I came into the agency, I won't say what year, but we were still taking pictures of houses and mailing them to underwriters with a Polaroid camera. Right. So a lot of things happened quickly when I got there, and they continue to evolve every day. Consumers need a lot of information at their fingertips, where before, the responsibility was really on us to take care of everything for them. They need a lot more at their fingertips, and there's a lot of good ways to deliver that and serve our customers. So we're learning something new every day.
We do. We learn new things every day. It's a business that you kind of got to recertify and go to continuing education to be up to date in it. And I did that all my life. I'm probably at the point now that I'm going to rest on what I know, but we stress that.
Don't you think that part of it even might be the fact that you realize that there had to be change is why you were able to be around for 100 years? How many people get locked in because that's the way Dad did it, that's the way Grandpa did it, and they run out of steam. It just doesn't work at a certain amount of time.
Some of those fundamental ideas, though, I think have lasted 100 years. But you're right. You have to adapt to the environment that you're in. And I think generationally, we've been very lucky that there's been another group of people that wants to come along and do what we do.
So what do you see moving forward for Messer Bowers? This is a huge chapter turn right here, right?
It is. Dad's been there 54 years. I consider myself less than halfway through my tenure there, and I can tell you that my brother is in the agency as well. The two of us are not anywhere out of steam, and we've got a lot of ideas and ways to grow. You know, the Enid market is where we have most of our people and most of our investment in our agency. And so we're very interested in helping Enid grow, because that's another way that we can grow as well. But you know, there's not a lot of agencies that are 100 years old around, and we want to be around for quite a bit longer.
That's true, and I even still enjoy being here every day. And obviously, I was fortunate to have two sons that both were excited about going into the insurance business. I told both of them that you don't have to do that. You don't have to endure that curse. You can go do whatever you want to, and as long as I'm capable of it, I'm going to send you to college and let you do what you'd like to do. They both determined that I tried to put him in engineering school, and I tried to get Don to go to law school, and they both started out accommodating my design for them, but they both decided that they wanted to be in the insurance business and aligned themselves with that, and it's worked out great for the last 22 years.
Good.
It's a good deal.
I want to move just a little bit away from the insurance side of it, and something that I've noticed, how much your family's involved in our community. There's not very many things I show up to that there's not a Bowers there in the audience somewhere. And you guys have given back a lot over the years. And could you talk to that a little bit, why that was so important to you? And
well, I can tell you, I love Enid. Enid's been very good to us, and I think it's our responsibility to help our community any way that we can. You know, there's a lot of different ways to do it. We obviously can't be at all of them, but where we can lend ourselves to the community, I think that's certainly how I was raised.
That goes back to your question about why is Enid what it is from a while ago, and I think that is it. The people that are here and have been around a long time realize that this is our city. We got to take care of it. We got to take care of our people and create our own image statewide and in the country. And I think that's what drives you to do that. I think it just is a responsibility. We're certainly not. We would be a member of a large group of people that are very supportive of the community and are at all those events you speak to, and I wouldn't want to be in any other group. I mean, we want to be team players on that.
well, I will just wind this up by saying I feel like our community is very, very blessed for a lot of reasons, but to have the Bowers family here, what you've done over the years are just remarkable, and to have a business is 100 years.
If I may, I would like to give us a plug. If you're watching this before the 20th of July, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Stride Bank Center, we are having a community event for the 100-year anniversary. All friends, clients, community members are invited to stop by and say hi.
Great, great. And that's just open to everyone.
It is. Anybody
wants to show up. So, very good. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for coming in this morning. Anything else you'd like to?
No, I'd only point out that the 100 years has that's obviously a lot of history. That started out in 1893, though, when my great grandmother, whose name was Messer, rode a horse in the land run, staked her own farm, got kicked off of it by Sooners. No problem with Sooners, but that's what they called them, and that's just what they called them. And so she had to relocate. She stuck it out, lived out on that farm all winter, ate turnips every meal, and ended up going in the real estate business in Enid after she got her feet on the ground. Married, had 3 kids, and then my grandfather Bowers married her daughter. So that's where the Messer Bowers came from, because he went in business with her in 1924. There's your 100 years. We counted from that point, even though they bought an agency that had been around since 1900. But we decided just to make our 100-year measuring stick from the day they bought that insurance agency, and they renamed it to Messer and Bowers, and ran a real estate and insurance agency out of that office. And then the next step in that evolution was my dad graduated from Oklahoma University in 1949 and came back in and was he was a big growth factor in our agency in his career, and created a nice atmosphere for me and my kids. So we've been fortunate. I mean, it isn't all just hard work or that kind of thing. We've been very blessed and feel very fortunate to have the situation we've got.
Well, we're sure pleased and happy that you guys are here and be a part of the community, a very vital part of the community. So thank y'all very much. Thank you for being here today. I will be there, by the way.
Well, you're invited, and we'd like to see you there.
On the 20th, yeah. You guys going to have some old pictures and stuff?
I hope so.
We should have the archives out for that.
Good. Well, thanks, guys, for being here. So if you have any questions or concerns about anything that your city government does, please send those questions to askmason@enid.org, and we'll do our best to try to answer those. So thank you. We'll see you in a couple weeks.